Hey guys, hello. Here we go. It's another Sunday night and I hope everyone's had a fantastic weekend, no matter where you are. I'm just looking through the comments and I can see we've got a few visitors we haven't had before. Welcome, girls. Very, very nice to see you. Hello, regulars as well. Nice to see you all here. I see some of you been chatting for a little while. Subu and Cherie and Jenny. You guys are on early. Hello, hello. Hi, Megan. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking to everyone because there's usually just too many people for me to say hi and do it justice. So just please accept my general welcome, and I'm excited to craft with you guys tonight. So lots going on at the moment, isn't there? We've got some of you probably already know. If you're demonstrators, you definitely know. If you're not, you may have heard the rumor. We have a new catalogue coming out in July. This is officially called the July to December mini catalogue, which is not very exciting. I like to call it the holiday catalogue because it's got all the shiny sparkly Christmas stuff in it. So that's my favorite catalogue release of the year, actually. But coinciding with that, we've also got another round of celebration coming out, which means for every $90 you spend, it's 90 here in Australia, you spend $90 and you get something for free, and you get to choose what that something is, and there's some really cool free things. So that's something to look forward to next month. But this month we have our retired list for the existing mini catalogue. So that's this one here, and you can see I've gone through and written the big word retired on my catalogue. Even though this is still current until the end of the month, I've written retired on it so I can highlight. I've gone through and highlighted all the things that are retiring, and if they're marked down, how much they're marked down by, because we have quite a lot of discounts in this particular retiring catalogue. So, oh, you're cold, Jenny. I'm sorry to hear that. I know. I've been cold too. I'm in my jacket again. This is so nice and warm, this one. And I told some of you on Friday night, this is my Stampin'Up one. Can you see my Stampin'Up there? It's one of the gifts that we got on the Alaska incentive trip back in 2018. Interestingly, we were there in July, so it was warm. And I was expecting it to be much colder than it was. We did get, like when we were visiting the glaciers and things, we needed these warm things, especially if you wanted to watch it from outside, and that was the best place to watch it. But when we were visiting the towns like Juneau and Skagway, it was really, really warm. Okay, so we didn't need our woolly stuff there. We were all sweltering on some of those really warm days. Very surprising, actually. I was expecting it to be different, but I loved it. It was a fantastic trip. Okay, just reading through. Cold and wet. I saw that. Did you post? I think you posted something from the news about the wet weather, that there was some flooding. So I hope you're safe where you are, Jody. I did see that, though. I did see it pop up. Hey, Nairi, nice to see you on the coast. You've been away, yeah. Were you in Sydney? Yep, it says you were in Sydney. Sorry, I should read before I ask. You're cold too, Angie. Yeah, everyone's cold. Well, it is winter. This is the time of year I don't know why every year we're surprised how cold it is. It happens every year, and we all get cold and pretend that it's not cold, but actually it is, because it's winter, right? So great crafting weather, though. Really good weather to craft and snuggle up maybe in front of a heater. That's what I've got, my heater over here, keeping me warm tonight so I don't get cold fingers. And you're warm. Yes, well, Cherie, you're up in Queensland, and that's what happens when you're in Queensland. The further north you go, the warmer it gets, right? I hope you're okay, Jody. All right, May was mild, and now we're having this little cold blast. For those of you who are in the US, I know that you guys are all doing it pretty warm over there in summer, so hey, just the way the seasons work. Hey, Jenny, nice to see you. All right. I'm going to flip over to my desk and let's have a look and see what we can see. Here we go. I love that I can just hit a button and that just happens. It used to be, whoops, I need to make sure I don't knock my phone though when I do it. Let me see if I can. I was just about to tell you how good it is to have a button, and then I went and messed it up. Oh well, I'm trying to get my camera cord, my phone cord out of the picture. That's what I'm trying to do, and not doing a very good job of it. Let's see if it'll stay. No, it doesn't want to stay. Oh, well, we'll just have to pretend that's there. Cherie, that's just rude. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you in Melbourne again. All right, so this is the catalogue that's going. Now, if anyone doesn't have any of the catalogues that I talk about, whether it be this one that's going, it's a bit late now for that one. We've only got a few weeks left, but this one's just started. This one came out at the beginning of May. You can see it goes from May this year to April next year. So this one is fairly new, and we've got lots of beautiful new things. And then we've got the new one coming in July. If you don't have any of the catalogues and you're in Australia, please message me. Okay, you can message me, either private message me on Facebook, or you can even comment if you want to comment either on YouTube or on Facebook and tell me that you'd like a catalogue sent to you, and I'll get in touch and we'll get that sent out to you. It doesn't cost anything. They're a great source of inspiration, our catalogues. Once upon a time, when they first came to Australia, they used to be called idea book and catalogues, because that's what they were. They were really an idea, all about ideas. But now it's just called a catalogue. I guess that is what it is. But it's full of inspiration on just about every page. I froze. Has anyone else am I frozen for anybody else? No? Yes? Can someone verify that am I moving okay? Cherie, your sense of humor is twisted. Well, you know what? That's okay. I think a good twisted sense of humor is a very good asset. You're all good, Katrina? And Jenny says I'm fine. Megan says I'm fine. So it might be at your end. I'm so sorry. I hope that that we're not frozen for everybody. And just Angie, you might be having an issue with your internet, honey. Possibly. You froze a while ago, but okay now. Okay. All right. I'm going to proceed and hope that Love you too, Cherie. That's all good. All right. So I thought, seeing as this catalogue is going, it might be nice to make some stuff out of this tonight, because this one is only available while stocks last. So if you're ordering something in here, now in Australia, I believe it's different over in the US, but in Australia, nothing has sold out yet. Okay. I know in the US that's not the case. There's quite a few things that have sold out of the mini catalogue over there, but not here. Okay. So right now things are still available. See, thunderstorm, Angie, that could account for the problem with the internet too. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully that won't give you any issues. All right. So there's a few things in here I thought would be fun to play with tonight. And I thought I've picked a couple of things that I have lots of that are going to be going. Okay. And one of the things is the fantastic Heart and Home suite, which you'll find on page 58 and 59. And because this is what they call a mega suites have 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets, so 2 bundles in the suite. Okay. As always, you can buy the whole suite with just one number, get every single thing in there. However, when they do discounts during retired time, it's actually a really smart thing to look individually and see if you're going to save on some of the items. And that's definitely the case here. So, for example, the Denim Ribbon, which is part of the suite, the Denim Ribbon is marked down by 50%. So you would be much better off buying that as a separate thing rather than buying the suite. Okay. So I would suggest that you do, sit down with your calculator if you want to, or you can get me to do it if you prefer, and actually work out that if you were to get some of these items at their discounted price, how much you could save. And I think in this case, this definitely makes sense to do it. So the doilies are great. I have used these so much. I have so many left over, though, from a bunch of different things I use them for. They have grey. This is Misty Moonlight, which is now a retired colour. You can't get this anymore. And Cinnamon Cider. Okay, they're the 3 colours of the doilies. But even though they come in those 3 colours, there's the grey again. That's basic grey, that one there. Even though they come in those 3 colours, you can always turn them over and use the reverse, make it white, or you can use your blending brushes and make it any colour you want. And I thought we might do that tonight. So, yeah, I think that makes them really versatile. And this is them here. Well, those are also 30% off. So instead of $8.75, they're 30% off. So that one about another $3 off, thereabouts, or just under $3 off. The Heart and Home Memories and More cards and the matching envelopes, those are 50% and 30% off respectively. And the paper, the Heart and Home 12 by 12 paper that I have used probably, I was going to say I've used it to death. I have used it so much, it's not funny. that is 30% off. Okay, so instead of $20 here in Australia, it's going to be 30% off that price. Okay, now I don't have my calculator to actually tell you how much all those are, but it's a significant saving. So I just want to show you in the samples that they've got here, they've actually got the doilies sitting here on the corner of the page. Frozen for short periods. Oh, that's not good, is it? I'm so sorry. And I'm actually plugged in directly to our router, which gives me better reception. So I hope it won't continue to cause issues. But yeah, it is actually $14. Is that for the paper, Cherie? Is that right? Bling, yes. So these are really cool, but you can see they've got the doilies here. Okay, then you can see this little one is doing like a little peekaboo thing just coming out behind this piece of paper here with some stamping on it. There's a little bit of a doily doing a peekaboo thing here. There's a whole doily as a kind of a background motif. And this one, they use the cinnamon cider one, and they also emboss the doily. I don't know if you can see that, but they embossed it with the Hive embossing folder that is part of this suite. Here's the Hive embossing folder right here. Now, that is not highlighted. You can see I did not highlight that embossing folder because that embossing folder is going into the main catalog. Okay, so that one is not retiring. So it's really smart to go through and work out, okay, what is retiring, what's not, because why get it now if you can get it later and just get the things right now that you really want that are actually leaving us. So I think that's the way to go. There is also the classic matte dots, which come in black, grey, vanilla and white. Those are also continuing. They're not retiring either. And neither are the stamp sets. Okay, over the page here, you can see they've got the Blessings of Home stamp set and the Honeybee Home. These are both, you can find them both in the new catalogue. Okay, so let's get that out there. You can get both of those. And you can see they've put the doilies here. They've used this whole doily here behind these little elements. Here they've used it behind the really big die cut, and they've also used it behind some paper here peeping out. So they're really versatile because you don't have to use them just for, you know, just one way. You can do lots of different things with them. So they're a bit of fun. So let's get to it and make something. Don't want to keep you guys too long because I know that's why you're really here. I pulled out a couple of colors. I wasn't sure which way I was going to go. I'm thinking I may go with a piece of pale papaya, which is one of the colors in the paper. And I've got scraps of this paper. I just want to make sure it's actually cut to the right size because I got this out of my scrap drawer. So it should be 10 centimeters, and it is, by 14.3, and it is. Okay, so that is the correct size. So I've got some paper here. You can see all my paper is chopped up in little tiny weeny bits. Okay, so I've got a couple of bigger pieces. There's quite a bit of cinnamon cider. The backs of these papers are nearly all this wood grain look, so which is kind of cool. Okay, and they're different types. So this one is like straight up and down wood grain. This one is diagonal wood grain. So the wood grain is really great. I've used them quite a bit as they are, but also with colors sponged over them because they sponge really well because they have a white background. You can see you've got your fresh freesia here, and the back of that one is like a different kind of wood grain. So yeah, there's all different wood grainy patterns on the back, which are really versatile as well. Okay, and the paper itself is only, like I said, it's only $20 less the 30%. So that's what I think Cherie was saying, is down to $14. So that's a really good deal. All right, so I'm thinking, making it up as I go along, as always, because that's what we do, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to let's start with this at about the 12 centimeter mark. And you can see the colors in this. We've got pale papaya, we've got a little bit of fresh freesia, and the green in it is garden green. All right, so they're the colors that we're working with. And I've also got, like, the blue definitely wouldn't go with this. That wouldn't be right. The cinnamon cider would, but this is a retired color. We don't actually have it anymore, and I don't know that I want to use it. I am thinking of doing the sponging thing. The grey isn't the right color. If I was going to use a colored one, I probably would go cinnamon cider, but I'm actually thinking instead I'm going to go with, I've got more cinnamon cider than anything else, so I'm going to go with the cinnamon cider one, but I'm going to use the back of it. All right, so we're actually going to go with the back. Oh, I missed a question. Did somebody ask a question? I'm so sorry. Jenny, did you ask a question? Oh, you like Top Gun. I've heard some people say it's fantastic, and I've heard other people say they didn't like it. So it seems to be dividing the audiences. Some people really, really love it. I'm sorry, Jenny, I missed your question. I'm so sorry. The windmill set is going. Yes, that is your question. Correct. It's not continuing on, but the tulips on the opposite side of that, part of that suite as well, the tulips are not going. They're staying. So let me grab my other catalogue just for a second. I want to show you that because it's right down here near the front. So here's the windmill set, and you can see that both the bundles are going, all right, but when I look at the individual items, okay, the bundle is going here. I've highlighted the bundle, but the flowering tulip set and the dies individually are not going. They just won't be a bundle anymore. So if you love those, it's still a good time to get them because while they're a bundle, they're 10% off. But once the this catalogue ends, they won't be a bundle anymore. So you would have to pay the individual prices, which is going to cost you 10% more. So those are continuing, however. But then the tulip fields with the windmill and the matching dies, those are leaving us, and they're also 30% off. Okay, so if you jump in and grab them before they retire, you'll get a 30% saving off those. I hope that answers the question. Hi there, Donna. Nice to see you. I know the new mini catalogue is very, very exciting. There are some fantastic Christmas sets coming. Very excited about it. Yeah, no, the windmill set is definitely not going through. Okay, so let's have a little look here. Now, I'm thinking I like this here, and I'm wondering, I'm going to start, I might just grab out one of my blending brushes. And I'm going to use the Pale Papaya one. So going to get my Pale Papaya, and let's, now we could, if we thought this was too much the same color, we could also use the Fresh Freesia. So here's my question to you. Shall we go with the Pale Papaya or shall we go with Fresh Freesia for the doilies? And the first person to tell me which color they think I should do the doily is the one we'll go with. Fresh Freesia or Pale Papaya? Is that answering my question, Jody? You said Pale Papaya is lovely. Oh, and you just answered the question. You said Pale Papaya. Okay, well, Pale Papaya it is. If the Fresh Freesia would have been this, okay, and that would work as well because we've got the little Fresh Freesia flowers in there. But we're going to go Pale Papaya because Jody said so. All right, so I'm going to hold this down with my, I'm right-handed, holding this down with my left hand, and I'm actually going to start in the middle here and work my way out. Now, how dark you make this is totally up to you. Obviously, the more times I do this, the darker it's going to get. All right, and I'm going to do that again, grab some more ink. I'm really going quite deep and trying to grab it. You'll also notice when you do this, you end up with a really nice pattern on your table. And that's always a nice little bonus. I always love the tables after I've used my blending brushes over things like doilies and other shapes. So that's 2 applications. And I'll put my finger over here and do the rest. If you want it to be even, just keep going all over it, round and round in circles until it looks the way you want it to look and is all blended together. Okay, that's pretty even. However, I don't always like mine to be even. Doesn't this look nice? I love this effect also on a card. I've done that before where I've actually sponged over and left the impression from the doily, not the doily itself. That looks really nice. All right. So I'm actually going to go back over this, and because I love the effect on the, I don't even know why I need to do this, but it's almost like a compulsion. I have to line it up where it was so I can get that pattern on the bottom. Who cares? I'm going to throw it out in the end anyway. This time I'm just going to go around the outside because I want the outside to be a little bit darker. So they end up looking, doesn't that look nice? They end up looking like, you know, like you're using them like a mask. And actually, that's something I got this week. I got our new masking paper. Who's had a play with that? Did everyone see the new masking paper in the new catalogue? In the new annual catalogue, we have masking paper. So actually, I could even pull that out and we could talk about it if you want. But I might do that. I might do that next weekend. We'll do the masking because I think that's a bit of fun. Show you how that works. All right. Okay, so that's how this is looking. It's pretty even, a little bit darker on the edges. Let me just go over the edges again. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? All right. So then I've got this piece here, and I've got my doily, and I'm thinking I might leave the whole doily as it is. I mean, I could have it popping out, and that would look really nice as well. But I'm actually thinking I might just leave it over the top because I do really like that effect. Isn't it nice? It does look good, Nairi, when you do that. New colours to play with. Hooray, Michelle. That's awesome. The masking, okay, we'll do the masking paper. That would be, you're cold, Jenny. That would be great to do the masking paper. Yes, it is fantastic to have those instead of Post-it notes. Totally agree with you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a scrap. Shall I grab a scrap of white? Well, this is not really a scrap. This is a piece of white. And because we can kind of pick and choose our colors, but there's a bit of gray in the background here, and gray is one of the colors in the paper. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to go with just gray. Black is probably too harsh, and we're going to use this one here from the Blessings of Home, which is a really nice stamp. Let me pop that on a block. This is block E I'm using, and D is a little bit small. This one's just a little bit too long for D. So E is the right size. So you don't need to rush out to buy this stamp set because it is going to be continuing. But the other accessories I'm using are not. All right. Now, my choice is I can cut this out first, or I can color it and cut it and cut it out after. The way I figure it is, there's pros and cons. Okay. Oh, she got everything in the new mini. I'm not doing that this time because I'm flying over to the US. I've told some of you this before, flying to the US in August. And so we're on a really, really tight budget. So we can afford all of that. And with that in mind, I'm being very, very careful about what I'm getting out of the mini. I know I will end up with a lot of it because I often end up with a lot, but I'm trying to be really careful. So there we are. And I get it when people say that. So what I find is it's easier to color when it's still attached to the piece of paper before you cut it out, okay? However, the disadvantage is if you color it first and you do a fantastic job and it's the best coloring of your entire life, and then you cut it out, you want to be sure that you're cutting out bit, and I'm using a die for this, you want to make sure you get it perfectly right, because if you mess it up after doing all that coloring, it's a bit of a bummer, right? So I am going to do this, and I'm thinking I've got a sponge over here, and I'm thinking maybe I will do some, given that we have the little freesia flowers, let's do some freesia, and I could use blends for this, but I'm just going to actually use a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to very, very lightly color these flowers. So it's more about like a hint of color rather than trying to do perfect coloring. And I love the soft look of using a dauber. Other options, you could use your watercolor pencils. You could use your ink or with a water painter. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can color. Blends are really precise, but they're darker, so they're not as soft as the effect that you're going to get with a sponge dauber. But it's nice, okay? And then let me see. I've got another sponge over here. I'm going to do that one, I think, with these little flowers. We'll just add a little bit of colour here with the fresh freesia. Only a tiny bit. I don't want much colour. I just want to give a hint. Go like that. And we said garden green, didn't we, for the leaves? I don't want to do daubing with the leaves because they're very, very small, some of them. And I think I could make it look messy. So I am going to get my garden green. And instead, I'm going to use a blender pen. Let me just make sure I've got a blender pen here that hasn't got white ink all over it. Because as you guys know, I love to use my blender pen. See, that one's got white ink. Can you see that? So I don't want to use that one. This one, oh, there's a little bit of white ink. It's not too bad, but let me just see if I've got another one handy that doesn't have white ink on it. Okay, this one's good. All right, so I'm actually going to color with my blender pen. And the reason I want to do this is, once again, I want it to be softer than the effect that the blends markers will give me. So this is one way of doing that, being a little bit more precise than a sponge dauber, but not as precise as blends. Okay, so I still want a softish look. So I can do it a few ways. I can go straight into the corner here with the ink pad, and then you can see that then makes this blender pen pretty much straight away like a marker, but a bit softer. I haven't got as much ink on it as I would if I was using alcohol markers. Other options, I can squeeze the ink pad so that some of the color goes onto the lid, which is what has happened here, and then pick it up from there. Or I could use a block, dip my block in it, and then pick it up off the block. So there's a number of ways that you can get the pen to pick up the ink. Okay, so I'm actually just going to come in here with a little bit of coloring near the top, and then I'm going to very lightly, so I'm just adding color to these. I'm not being too precise. The bigger ones, we want to add a little bit more color and then lighten it as it spreads out. So I'll go back in and just pick up the corner again. And when you first do it, see, it's quite dark. And so the dark bits I tend to do over the bits that have got a bit of shading on them, the leaves that have got shading. Who has never used blender pens? These are fantastic. They come in packs of 3. They're really good. You can use them over and over and over again with different colors. When you finish with one color, you then just run it off on your scrap paper until it runs clear to get all that color on, and then you can pick up a different color. So really, really good if you don't have markers, but you want to have a coloring tool that gives you a little bit more control than, say, a dauber or other blending systems. All right, so it's very, very handy little things to have. Great way of using your existing inks. That means you've got access to all your colors without having to have a blend in each color. But the blends are for a different purpose. The blends are alcohol markers, so they work on any surface, whereas these, you would only use them on paper. Okay, just like that. All right, does that make sense? The blender pens are great. I'm glad you guys love them. Hey, Ellen, nice to see you. Long time no see. Ellen, I ran into Ellen tonight. We in the grocery store by complete surprise. I was there about an hour before I had to go live, and we saw each other, and it's always nice to see each other. But what I realized when I got outside, Ellen, was that I had parked my car directly next to yours. I didn't even realize it was you. So when I went out, there's your little car and my little car sitting next to each other. Isn't that funny? I thought that was funny. All right, so blend pens. Oh, and Megan has even given us the number for them. So there you go, 102845 blender pens. Add them to your next order if you don't have some. There you go. There it is on the screen. Can you see the number there, guys? 102845. All right. Now, I'm just going to cut this piece of paper down a little bit because I'm actually going to cut this with my dies. Just going to put my ink pads out of the way and my other bits and pieces. And what I want to do is I want to cut this down because I'm using my mini cut and emboss, the smaller one, and that means I can't, when I'm putting this through the mini cut and emboss, I need to make sure this is not wider than 9 centimeters. That's as wide as I can go. I mean, I've made it less, it's about 7, but you need to make sure that you have not got your piece of paper too wide to go through the mini machine. So give me a second. If you haven't seen the mini machine in use, it's great for, I use it for this because it fits really nicely on my table. Let me just move that away or hide that. And they're really also so much lighter than the big machine. So really good if you're traveling or you need to, like when I go to my classes up in the Hunter Valley, I make sure that I take my little guy, this little one here with me rather than my big one, because the big one is just a lot heavier and more cumbersome to work with, so, and to carry. So there you go. Yeah, you can see Ellen, everybody. I know it's a nice surprise. It was nice to see you. And what I didn't think to do before I started this video was to grab my Blessings of Home dies, which are the dies that match this set. So I just need to grab them. I haven't used them for a little while, so they're further back in my box than I was expecting. Some other things that are going that some people might not be aware that are going, the rainbow, what is it? I've gone blank. The rainbow stuff. You know what I mean. The ones with the half rainbows. I'm just going to show you. Give me a second. Flowing Flowers is another one that's been popular. That one's going as well, not continuing on into the mini. These ones, the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set and the Brilliant Rainbow dies. Those are all going as well. And in Australia, they're marked down 10%. Okay, so both the dies and the stamp set as well. And I nearly used those tonight actually, because that's another set that I think people need to realize that it's going, because I wasn't expecting that one to go. I thought it would stay. Ironing pile, I know, right? We don't like the ironing pile. That is not our favorite thing. All right, so I'm going to pop this on here and I'm going to put this over the top. Okay, now if I'm smart, and clearly I'm not, what you can do to stop this from moving is to put a post-it note to hold it in place, like, because post-it notes don't interfere with the cutting. They're nice and easy. Did anyone hear the sad news that the magnetic plate that I introduced to you guys on Friday night has been pulled? We're not going to be selling that. It's not up to quality that Stampin'Up expects. And whilst I am so disappointed, I am also really proud of Stampin'Up that they pull those sorts of things and won't sell a product that is not at the highest of quality. So I get it. So ignore it. You know what? I don't iron ever. I just don't iron. Things either go in the dryer and get hung up as soon as they come out, so they don't need ironing, or we buy clothes that don't need ironing, because I really hate ironing. Really, really hate it. It's just one of those things I don't do. On the very rare occasions that my husband needs to wear something ironed, he's very capable of doing that himself. So there you go. But that's just my personal think on it. You try and ignore it also. Yes. No, I think someone tell me, one of the other demonstrators in the group, the magnetic plate, I believe they've already pulled it. And I know it's fantastic, Donna. It's really, really good. I only used mine for the first time on Friday night. Lynn threw her iron in the bin. For those of you who have already bought it, a refund will be coming to you. Okay, so even if you're having no problems with it, you don't have to send it back or anything, but they're refunding the money. So there we go. The number's been turned off, says Megan. There you go. All right, so I've got this beautifully cut now, and let's pop this right about here. It's looking nice here. The other thing is, now that I've done this, I'm just going to show you what it would look like if it was white, because maybe we prefer that. After we've done that beautiful bit of, do we prefer white. Oh, my husband just drove. He's at work, but he just drove in. Do we prefer white behind? Or do we prefer the pale papaya? I think I still like the pale papaya. You ordered it last Wednesday. You'll have a refund coming, Michelle. Jodie's quick. She's definitely, you're a pale papaya girl, aren't you? Now, we do have ribbon that goes with this suite as well, and that's also retiring, but I'm not going to use it tonight because it doesn't go with my card. This is the denim ribbon. Looks fantastic with the Misty Moonlight and also looks really, really good with navy. Okay, so look how nice that is. That's just a fantastic combo, but it doesn't go with my card tonight. So I'm going to use a different option. I'm also wondering whether I want to have another piece on here, and maybe I do, because I've got some, see, that's green on the back. It's not the color I'm going for, but I'm wondering about maybe putting a little bit of wood grain out the side here and cutting that off so it's short there. Do we like it with the wood grain? And I could even color the wood grain. We could put a little bit of color on this wood grain. What do you think? We could do fresh freesia maybe. Bling, says Jody. Of course you say that. The pale papaya, yes. You guys are funny. Oh dear. I know the denim ribbon is going, and I'm really sad because we've had it before too, and it went before, and yeah. All right, so I'm thinking this is rather nice. I think I like it. Or I could even cut this as a smaller piece. So I could have a small bit just attached behind here. So maybe I cut it down. So this piece, I know we made it before. We made it 12 centimeters. So I'm going to make this one the same length. This is the back of the garden green piece. Fresh freesia on the wood grain. Yep, okay, let's do it. Now this is the same length then, 12 centimeters. It's the same length as the original piece. But I'm deciding, do I want it to be a more narrow piece, or will I leave it as it is? What do you guys think? You don't like the wood grain, Margaret? What would it look like with the green side? It would look like this. I don't like that as much, just personally. Oh, hello from The Hague. Wow. Nice to see you. Yeah, narrower. Okay. So we've tried the green side, and I'm not a big fan of that. I love just trying different things. Now this piece is a bit over 2 centimeters, so about 2 centimeters. So I'm actually just going to shorten it. I'm going to make a little bit less wide, so about 1.5. And I'm going to get my blending brush and my fresh freesia, and let's color this and see how we go. And I might just color part of it, and then we might decide we don't want to do that at all, but you know, it doesn't really matter. That's the cool thing. All right, so I'm going to start down one end here, and I'm going to go part of the way up, and I'm going to do that again. It's only a little piece, so it's a little tricky to work with. Got to keep your fingers to hold it down. And I'm just going to sort of fade it off there towards the end. So let's see how this looks. Because we have the colour in our flowers, we may get away with this quite nicely. There we go. What do we think? I don't mind that. The only thing is you can't see that it fades out. It just looks like it's coloured at one end and not at the other, but you don't see the fade. But I think I like that. I like it because it's picking up some of the colour in the flowers. So I think that's a winner for that reason. I'm just going to see, do I have any Wink of Stella? If I do, I'm going to do the middle of my, let's see if I've got any Wink of Stella left in this one. This is I need to buy a new Wink of Stella. Goodness me. That needs to be on my next order. Any other big Wink of Stella fans? This one's better. This is a newer one. Love Wink of Stella. We're going to colour the centre so they're all glittery. And that also picks up a little bit of the colour and colours the middle. You like the strip? Colour it all, says Sue. Computer says no. Not a fan of the strip, says Megan. That's okay. I mean, I think it looks good or bad either way. I do like having a little bit of the colour, but I think the thinner strip looks better than the wider strip did. It's funny. We're all so different. All of our different ideas, hey? All right. I'm actually going to just make a decision and stick it all down. So I'm actually going to use some seal. This is a new seal I just put in, I think. Is this a new one? No, this is not the new one. This is the new one. Yep, that's the new one. Sometimes when they first come out, you need to play with them a little bit. All right, so I'm going to position it here. And then I'm going to have that one closer, just like that. It's controversy tonight, the strip or not the strip. But I love that everyone has their own opinion and their own ideas about what looks good and what doesn't. And I think that's fun that we get to do that. All right, so I'm going to pop this on dimensionals. That's true, you know, that is so true, Cherie. You know, sometimes I'll look at a card and think, I can't give that one away. I love that card, just can't part with it. And then other ones are not so hard to part with. That's true. All right, that's on dimensionals there, and I'm going to pop this on dimensionals as well, because, you know, you can never have too many dimensionals, right? You know what? I actually think you can have too many dimensionals. It's hard for me to get to that spot where I think too many, but there we go. That's nice. Now, I'm thinking what would be, is there any words in here that I would want to use? Probably not. I mean, I could use down the bottom here, I could put a greeting across. If I wanted a greeting up here, I'd need to use a small greeting, and there's nothing in here that's small enough. What about in the Honeybee Home set, the other set in this suite? That might have some smaller greetings. Let's see. We've got a Miss You. You know what? I want something even smaller. I know what I want. Now, here's a set that is not retiring. The Hello Ladybug. This little hello, I use it all the time. There's also It's a Good Day, but I really love the hello in here, and I've used it a bunch of times. So that's what's going to go on my card, because I just want a small saying. So hello. And let's do that one in grey as well. Let me see. I'll just use this same scrap that we used before. And the grey. Let's pop that right there. It's just a nice hello, nice and small, and goes in all kinds of... I like having small greetings sometimes because you can use them anywhere. And then my new favourite dies. Does everyone remember what they are? Love, love, love these dies. Best dies in the new catalogue, in my opinion. Okay, and I have quite a few that I love, but these are my absolute favourites because they have, for me, replaced the good old stitch shapes. All right, now you can see mine are all over the place. I need to get a magnet backing for them because I'm using them so much, they're losing their stick. But you've got your 5 squares, and then you also have 4 banners, and we also have We also have a nice little banner here because that's the one I'm going to use. We also have 6 circles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the old stitch shapes had 4 ovals, 4 squares, and 4 circles. This, in my opinion, is way better. I never use the ovals very often anyway, and there are more of the squares and the circles, so that's really cool. Right, let me, okay, so this is going to go here, a little hello. Let's bring our friend back. Pop that out. Platform, I love that they're numbered. Platform number 1, platform number 2. They go in that order. Okay, then I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put my die over the top and then my top plate on, which is also number 2. You have 2 top plates. You can put them in either order. There's no particular order. You want to push it until the handle starts to go. Now, if it doesn't turn, okay, see how nothing's happening? When I put that in, it didn't move very much. And the reason why is because it's telling me it doesn't like the way my plates are sitting and it wants me to put them the other way. So I'm just going to take that one off, reposition, and turn it over and do it the other way. Now when I put in, see now the handle moves a lot more, and when I grab it, it's going to take it through. So sometimes you need to just change the way that top plate is, turn it over, and then it will take it through for you. I didn't know that when I first got the machine. Well, when you first get it, it doesn't happen because your plates are nice and flat. But as your plates start to get a little bit of a bend, see how mine are bending? Can you see that? As they start to get a bit of a bend, sometimes you need to turn them over. But they still work fine. All right, so now I've got this little hello. And I've got my card. And I'm going to position my little hello so it's coming out just here. And I'm going to pop that on with, you could use glue dots or Tombow or anything. You could pop it up on dimensionals, but I'm not going to because I've already got these guys on dimensionals. So I'm going to use a couple of glue dots behind there and pop that in. And that's going to sit quite nicely up on top of the doily there. So we ended up with a pale papaya doily rather than the grey, the blue, or the cinnamon cider. We ended up with that, which I think looks rather nice. Right, now I still have, I want to go around this to finish it off. Also, I'm thinking it needs, well, I know what Jody thinks it needs. It needs bling, right, Jody? Stylish shape dies. Thank you, Megan. You're very good at doing that. Megan has put up the stylish shape dies. If you are, if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like to place an order, you are certainly welcome to do that through my online store. And all the items just come straight out to you. You order them online, and it's super, super easy. Okay. And right now there's some really good bargains because it shows you everything that's marked down. All the discounted retiring products are all shown there in the store, and it's really easy to see them. That's the easiest way to see what's on sale as well. So there you go. I'm just doing the edges of this, which gives it a nice lift at the edges. I do have some Whisper White thick, sorry, basic white thick. I don't think I'm ever going, let's just tell you right now, I don't think I'm ever going to get over saying Whisper White instead of basic white. I just can't seem to get it. Maybe one day, but it hasn't happened yet. All right, so I'm popping this on. I'm going to use Tombow for this bit because I like Tombow when it comes to putting my card fronts onto card bases. And part of the reason why I like to do that is because Tombow being a liquid means you can wiggle it into place. So if you don't get it perfectly placed right there, so it's a little bit close at this edge, and I can move it, I can sort of slide it into place with my fingers and then give it a good push down. And because it's a liquid, it dries clear, but it's also quite quick drying. So that's really good. Now it definitely needs something, and I'm thinking maybe some bling. Oh, bling competition. There we go. Yes, I have a friend who calls it Stink of Weller as well. Yep. My friend Jo always calls it Stink of Weller. For those of you who know Jo Hooper, she became a grandma yesterday. Isn't that exciting? Very exciting. Just looking through to see if I've missed any other comments. Am I ignoring you? I'm just really busy. I don't mean to ignore you. Are the largest circle and square bigger than the largest ones in the stitch shapes? I believe so. I should find that out exactly. They're definitely not smaller. They may be slightly bigger. I don't know if anyone knows the answer to that. There we go. Yes, I agree. To put a piece of cardstock under the doily when you add the color, because then you've got that beautiful like this piece that I've got here on my scrap paper. It would be very nice, wouldn't it, to have that actually on a card? And I've done that. It does look really fantastic. Ah. Hope you enjoy this card better than I do. Yeah. Yeah, basic rhinestones are good. They're very good. But my go-to these days, Megan, is the iridescent rhinestones. They're my new favorite. So if anyone's looking for those are fantastic. And those are in the mini catalogue, but not retiring. They're going into the new catalogue. They have gone into the new catalogue. You'll find them there. Interesting. This is something really interesting. In this mini catalogue, okay, where are they? Here are the iridescent rhinestones. So I haven't got them highlighted because they're not going. They are $13 in this catalogue. However, in the new catalogue, they are $13.25. So if you love the iridescent rhinestones, get them now and use this code, because if you buy them in the new catalogue after this catalogue ends, you're going to be paying a little bit extra for them. So they have gone up in price, but currently you'll still get them at the $13 price. So you might want to take that into consideration as well. So I just want to check that the number hasn't changed. If the number hasn't changed, if it has changed, you'll need to be aware of that. Let's find them. Where are they? Iridescent rhinestones. Why can I not see them? Iridescent rhinestones, number 7. $13.25. It says 158130, and in here same number, but right now you'll get them at $13, and after the end of this catalogue you're going to get them at $13.25. So the price is going up a little bit. Okay, it's not a huge amount, but still it's a nice thing to know. The largest stitch shaped circle is 2 7/8. I'm assuming that is inches we're talking about, right? And I don't know for the stylish shapes. Does it say that in the catalogue? Let's have a little look. The other thing they've done in the last couple of catalogues is made all of these dies at the back. They're all in alphabetical order. How good is that, right? So it's really easy to find them. The largest die is 3 by 3, it says. And I'm assuming that is a square, but the circle is comparable. So, yeah, they are a bit bigger. So, yep. There you go. Butterflies. I could use butterflies. I could. We've got some of those, but I really think the iridescent rhinestones are going to win again. I might finish them off. I've got a brand new pack of iridescent rhinestones that just arrived, and they're over in a box. So I might wait until and add those on after I finish. And then I'll post it for you to see. It's really cute. There's so many nice bling. I'm going through my little box of bling. Do you know what I haven't used yet? And these are retiring, is the faux glass shapes. Okay, the faux sea glass shapes. These are really tiny, but I love them. I mean, they're so cute, but I need to use them because I haven't used them yet. When we go to Michigan, which is where my husband's family lives, right near Lake Michigan, we actually go to the lake and walk up and down looking for sea glass. It's actually really fun finding it. They're not easy to see, but when you see them, they're so pretty. So there you go. A bee on the flower, that would be another possibility. No, I'm thinking not. The other thing I thought about doing was adding a seam binding ribbon, because that would look nice, a little bit of ribbon, or even some twine. Linen thread is good. So maybe linen thread on this might look better than, actually, you know what, I think it would. Linen thread is one of my favorites. Let me throw that on. And then I'll also add some bling later when I find my iridescent rhinestones. Like I said, they just arrived in a box and I know where they are, but they're on the other side of the room. Oh, the glass is staying. Are you kidding? Oh, the pebbles are going. I get those two confused. Thank you so much for saying that. Goodness me. I'm glad I've got you guys to correct me. Now, on Monday mornings, I go live for my teen group over on our Facebook group for the girls, and I make sure I try and not mess up when I'm talking to all of them, because they are very aware of what I'm saying, and if I say it wrong, they know straight away. But then so do you guys. See, even that looks really nice. Just that little bit of, can you see it? Little bit of linen thread. You forget to add bling. Oh gosh, I never forget that. Well, that's good. Seeing as I haven't used them yet, I'm glad they're staying. That's good. I had the two confused. I have used some of the pebbles though. So those ones are going. Because that whole On the Horizons bundle pretty much, is the whole thing going? I think it might be. And I'm surprised that the paper hasn't sold out at this stage. I'm wondering if that's because they have plenty of it. Yeah, everything on here is going. So the bundle is going, the cotton ribbon combo pack is going, the pebbles are going, and the New Horizons paper is going. All of it. So, yeah, I think that's one I'm actually going to miss, because I think that paper is one of the most stunning bits of paper. But then again, paper nearly always goes. It very rarely stays. All right. So there we go. All right, I'm going to do one quick little thing for you guys before I go. I'm getting ready. I've thought about just doing the one tonight, but I'm thinking, let me just get these things out of the way. I will do one more thing and just show it to you, because it's something else that's retiring. I know where I put it. Here we go. So these are retiring. These are the sweet little boxes, and you will find them at the beginning of your catalogue, right in the very front, pages 8 and 9, I believe. Yep, page 9, right here, called Sweet Little Boxes. They're 50% off, guys. So if you love these, you get 10 boxes in a pack. They were $17.50, so they're 50% off that, which makes them really cheap. Really cute, really easy to put together. So let me show you. All right, so this is how they come. And when you take them out, you don't need any glue or anything, because all the adhesive you need is here already. It's right there for you. Okay. No, actually, I can hear him at the door right now. Megan, funny you should say that. And that was after I begged the children to make sure they feed them, because I know that by the time I finish, the cats are really getting hungry. They know what time it is. Don't ask me how, but they just do. What I'm doing is folding all of this on the score lines, and there's some little tabs in the middle. You need to fold those ones as well, and these little guys at the end. All right, so there's all our tabs. Fold them all the same way. Really easy. Okay, now before I actually put this together, I'm going to stick my bits on. This square, this side here, when you put it together, is 3.5 by 2.5 inches big. Okay, so I have cut this at 3.25 by 2.25, because that is 1/4 of an inch smaller on each side, which means it is the perfect size to go in here. And I've got some Highland heather, cut 2, one for the front, one for the back, and then we have some matching paper. Now I have not used all this paper, so we can kind of play around with whatever parts of the paper we like. You can see there's some stripes, there's some hearts, there's some, what are those? Like little lolly packets or something? I'm not sure what those are. And then we've got like those little heart lollies, you know, the ones that have little sayings on them. and little love messages, some cute little heart lollipops. Really, really cute paper. Okay, now this is kind of like a Valentine's kind of a theme. And even if you don't do Valentine's though, they're super cute. So I'm deciding which ones I'm going to do. I'm thinking maybe one of these ones is already out. Maybe this one here, because that's really cute. It's got the Highland Heather in it and some other cute hearts. So let's do that. Oh, bye, Ellen. Maybe see you next week sometime. All right. So I'm going to cut this paper. So if this is 3.5 by 2.5, and I've cut my paper 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, so now I need to cut my paper at 3 by 2. So I'm going to go, the shorter side it's going to be like portrait shape. How good are these at 50% off? I think that's fantastic. So there are some really good bargains. And if you haven't already looked through, do it, okay? There is also, I will put the link to the shop in the comments below so that you can easily find your way to the online store. And then also I'll include that on there's also a shop button, a shop now button, this big blue button on my Facebook page as well. So you can't, it's on my blog, it's all over the place. I try and make sure people have no problems at all finding the online store, because you don't want them to not be able to find where to go shopping. That would be bad. So I'm just putting these 3 by 2 pieces here. You can assemble your box and attach this after, but in my opinion, it's just easier to attach it before you put the box together. So this is the bottom of the box, and up here where this little lip is, that's the top. So you want your hearts, mind you, it doesn't really matter because the hearts face both directions, so it doesn't really matter too much with this paper. But if you have paper that the direction is important, you want to make sure you put this on the right way, okay? So it's kind of cute though, right? So let's put our pieces on, and I'm just lining them up so they're centered on the sides there. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the other side. Quick and easy. How exciting, Cherie. A box of lint ball chockies. That is very sweet. He knows you well, honey. That's hilarious. All right, so you can see this is really rather nice, very simple. All right, so then to put the box together, which is so easy, we're going to you could use a take your pick tool, or if you've got nails, you can just peel the backing of this paper and also of this one here. Oh, those poor cats, they're at the door wanting to be fed. Whoops. I'll be there soon, boys. All right, and then I'm going to pop this one. Just going to make sure that that flap stays inside. This one comes up, and then this one comes up, and so you line up the edge, and I push from the inside, put my hand inside, push from the inside, and just give it a bit of a rub, and then that's making really good contact. Same again, this one. This one goes in first, and then we just line up this side like that. Push it down. It kind of goes together all by itself, really. Okay, then the flaps go in, and the lid slides into the top. And that's it. How cute little box is that? Isn't it the most gorgeous thing you ever saw? Now, I think because it has a heart theme, I'm thinking maybe we should put a heart punch on the outside. Let me see. Now, I know this heart is going to fit. This one might be too big, so I don't know. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe a slightly darker color, maybe Gorgeous Grape. Is this too dark? Is that too dark? Let's have a look and see. Is that too dark, or should we go with a lighter colour? The Highland Heather is also there. I might just going to grab some gorgeous grape and zip around the edges of this. You like the grape one? Good, because that's what we've got. Just going to zip around the edges. And I didn't buy this die and stamp set that matches this paper. I just got the paper because I thought the paper was fun. I got the boxes, but you can't have everything, right? And it's a bit sad that you can't have everything, but you just can't. Right, so that's the top where that little lip is. So this is going to go in here. And what I'm thinking I might do is go back to my stylish shapes. And let's pick this size. I think might be about right. And we're going to have a little greeting on there. This one might be too big, but let's try. I'm going to try both. You can see how often I get my die cuts out. A lot. I am a die cut girl through and through. Platform 1. Platform 2. See how this goes. There'll be room here for both. This one might be too small, but we'll find out. And then this one on top. And see, it's not going to go through. It's not wanting to go through, so what I need to do is turn it over. And if you're thinking, that sounds annoying, and what is annoying is I just dropped the die on the floor. That's okay. It doesn't do it when your dies are new. It's only when they start to get really warped. And you can buy replacement, sorry, not dies, the platforms. You can buy replacement plates. They're not expensive to get another set. And it's something you shouldn't need to do very often. But I kind of just want to keep mine going until I can't stand it anymore, if that makes sense. Just the paper? Yeah, same, Michelle. Just the same. It's a cute little box. Isn't this cute? Let's get rid of that. And so now I'm just deciding, do I want the little tiny heart, the little tiny circle, or the big circle? I'm thinking, let's see what greeting I'm going to use, because the bigger one might be more practical. But then again, if I was only going to use the hello from the Ladybug set again, that would actually fit on the little tiny one. But I don't know that it would look as good. Might as well use that one again. I've already got it on a block. Let's do that. And we also have our grape ink right here. So I'm going to pop that right there on that hello. Here we go. Big circle? Yeah, I think so too. The little one's too small. But I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals behind it. Or I could probably get away with one dimensional, to be honest, but I will. I've used two. There we go. And then we could put this whole thing on with dimensionals, or we could stick it flat. Oh, you know, what the heck. Let's use dimensionals. I'm turning into a dimensional crazy person, I think. All right, let's pop this here. Right, and I could add a ribbon to this or something, but it's kind of cute just the way it is. What would you put in the box, guys? What do we think? We could put I wonder if Furry Friends would fit, you know, the little flat chocolates, because any flat-ish chocolate would fit really nice in there. A gift card possibly. I think that would fit. you know, little notes. Put them in hot water. Place. Ah, okay. I'll give that a try, Katrina. Let's see how that goes. They still, I know, even when the plates are split, they still work okay. Huh? No, I haven't seen that trick, Megan. Looks like I need to do some experimenting, don't I? Huh? Interesting. I'm reading all your comments. Thanks, guys. Yeah, a gift card would fit nicely. I agree. And you know, there's a few things you could do with this. A little note card and a gift card together would look really cute in there. But aren't they sweet? Really cute little boxes. Super easy to use. You don't even need any adhesive, and they're 50% off. My gosh. Okay. Please go through your retiring catalogue and see what's marked down, because always the day after the catalogue goes, I'm living for the day that this doesn't happen. One of my customers will contact me the day after the catalogue has retired and say, can you still get item X? And I have to say, I'm so sorry, they've gone. Or they try and get them after they've sold out. And it happens all the time. But I'll know I've done my job properly when people don't need to do that. So there we go. That's what we've got up to tonight. We did two little projects that are kind of, with this bit of purple in here, they kind of almost match, but not really. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for being part of the fun tonight. Don't forget, if you're looking to purchase any of the retiring products or any other products, or you have questions, please get in touch. I can either put orders through for you if you're not sure, or if you like to do it yourself online, you can head to the online store and hit the shop now button. Okay, have a fantastic week. I will be back on Friday night. Look out for new videos from me, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.